Hi, everybody. Craig here. Welcome to episode 3 of my 4-player free-for-all Age of Wonders 4 playthrough series. In this series, I'm playing as Straelak Soulreaper, and I'm leading the human Hollowkin. For more information on my leader and race specifications and characteristics, please check the video description. In our last episode, we continued exploring and expanding around our throne city. You can see that we now know that there's a free city, Silver Bridge, over here to the right side. We haven't gotten close enough to actually see kind of what the city entails and what their characteristics are just yet, but we're going to work on that this episode. And then obviously over here, the city of Dim Tour, we're working on getting our relationship with them better. We actually have an opportunity for a pact of loyalty in one turn, which is excellent. So we're going to keep building our relationship with them. And actually, if we move to the underground, you can see that we now also know the city of Belstar is here. And they're not as happy with us because we have a different alignment compared to them. You can see that they have some different characteristics than we do. So as a result, we may end up having to siege them or battle them later, or we'll just leave them be. But in any case, we know a couple of different free cities are there, and we were able to clear out some spawning structures down here that were threatening our city. We know there's another one up here, and as you can see in the big zoomed out map, there's another one over here. So we will probably have to continue clearing and making sure that our surrounding area is safe, while hopefully continuing to expand and improve our position. Now, before I jump into the episode, I did just want to give a couple of quick shoutouts to a few individuals who left some excellent comments on the previous episode. The first of those comments is from Death. I had posed a question at the end of the last episode about whether I should consider heading underground, seeing what kind of trouble I can cause down there, or if I should prioritize perhaps clearing out the spawning structure up here, or maybe going in a totally different direction. And Death came through with a great suggestion, which is heading underground probably isn't the worst idea, because we know that there's an animal cage here, which gives me an opportunity to acquire a free unit. So moving your army onto it will allow the creature to join your ranks. So this might be a great chance to get, hopefully maybe like a tier 2, maybe even a tier 3 unit, basically for free. I just have to clear out the units that are guarding it. And while I'm down there, I can at least investigate Belstar and see if maybe it's worth trying to attack. I'm not familiar with the siege system in Age of Wonders 4, so this is going to be a learning experience as we go, but perhaps that might be a good opportunity. I noticed there are 40 fortification health, so let's just take a look. Fortification health represents how long the duration of a siege will be on a city. The greater the fortification health, the longer the siege will take. During a siege, the besieger will try and reduce the city's fortification health to 0 by dealing fortification damage. City defense structures are the primary source of fortification health. Okay, so our units kind of have to whittle down the defenses, and I believe if we go back to our main stack here, we have our Bone Golem, which, if I remember correctly, has Demolisher, and I think that would help in the siege, although I'm not 100% sure about that. Disassemble, that just means when it dies you get a skeleton. In any case, though, we can attack fortified objects, so that would probably include a wall if we actually get into that battle. But we'll have to see as we go, because, again, I am going in relatively blind in terms of having never really done a siege battle myself. So, but long story short, going underground seems to be a decent idea. Oh, whoops. That's fine. We were going to go underground anyway. But Straelak Stack is going to probably just head underground, and we'll send our Lesser Storm Spirit down there as well. So they'll both head underground. But Death also mentioned that undead units are not considered dark. So my acquisition of Brand of Wrath was very, very wise. And here you can see I'm ready to cast it. So we probably will do that. But Brand of Wrath, just to remind everybody, this grants non-dark units Cull the Weak, which is that synergistic benefit when units are weakened. When you attack units that have weakened, as we can hover over, you do extra damage, and you also will get regeneration. So very, very powerful ability, and very nice to add on to our undead units, because if we take a look, just to hammer home that point, you can see here that we don't have Cull the Weak right now with our undead units. So very, very good that we have that, and in fact, I will cast that right now. It says ready, so let's do it. So, yeah, grants non-dark units. And here you can see examples. We've got our Storm Spirit. We've got our Bone Golems. And here you can see all the different affected units. So we have, and you can hover over and actually see we've got a Bone Golem and a Storm Spirit. So let's do it. Excellent. Very, very nice. So that's made our units substantially better. Now if we take a peek here. Oh, and look at that. I think it's maybe even modified their appearance a little bit. If I'm not mistaken, they've got like this haze over them now. Brand of Wrath is now in effect. So very, very cool. Death also mentioned that I can queue a spell and keep it in reserve to cast, and doing so would use up my casting points for that turn, but it wouldn't hold up casting points moving forward. So, for example, I could start working on a Bone Golem spell, and then once I have enough skeletons produced, let's say in a turn or two, I could actually then use it at that time, and it's not going to impede my ability to cast other spells. So I didn't realize that, and that's very different from the spell casting system of Age of Wonders 3. So very cool. I'm going to probably do that then. Let's see. We can start working on it at least. Now, it uses up our casting points, and it uses some mana, but it's going to then be available to us in the near future. The next set of comments here is from Devin Larson. Devin also agreed that heading underground to at least get that large animal cage would be worth it. So that's what I'm going to plan to do here. Devin also suggested checking out the trade options with this city that I'm working on my relationship with. So if we take a look here, let's see what we can do. So if we go to trade, so you can see here that we could pay them some mana and get some knowledge in return. And this would be a 10 duration trade. I'm assuming that's what that stands for there. And then we've got gold for draft, or we've got gold for haste berries. Unique global effect. Founding, migrating, and absorbing cities takes two less turns. So again, kind of cool. I don't think I'm going to take any of these at the moment, but that is very, very neat to see. And I imagine perhaps as our relationship gets better, maybe these trades will improve as well. So just a nice thing to at least take a look at and always be mindful of, because some of those trades can apparently be pretty good deals. The next set of comments is from David Houston. David pointed out that I had mentioned last time about building outposts in cities. If I wanted to claim the area perhaps surrounding one of these ancient wonders, all I would have to do is put an outpost there. I wouldn't necessarily have to build a full city. So an outpost alone is sufficient to claim a sector. And then if it's in a particularly good area, you could then conceivably build a city and expand around it. The only caveat, of course, is that the outposts do require 10 gold per turn. So I appreciate David just helping me further understand the system. And then we also had a comment from Nolan Cook regarding the audio settings. So Nolan had mentioned that there wasn't any music coming through in the video, or at least if there was, it was very quiet. So I've tweaked the volume settings so that the music should be a touch louder. But again, I'm happy to continue to tweak that as we go. My worry was just that the audio of the music might be too loud and it would make it harder to hear what I'm saying. So I always err on the side of turning it low, but I guess I turned it a little too low. In any case, though, let's jump into the episode and get moving. So, as I mentioned, the plan is to go underground, but we are out of movement. We can't go any further. So, what we're going to do then is we're going to just finish up moving the rest of our units here. We did have this Dark Warrior doing some scouting for us. So, let's just finish that up a little bit. So, we've got a Brigand camp up here. We've also got a Mana Node that's guarded by just a handful of units. Nothing too crazy. An Outrider and a Warlock. So, we can probably turn this guy around and start heading back to the Throne City. Now, over here, we do have our Scout, who has already used up all of the movement there. We're going to grab this gold chest once we are able to. And it looks like we can annex another province. So let's see what we've got. I'm seeing some pretty decent options here. We could build a number of different upgrades. Farms are pretty much, it looks like we can really only build them on tiles where there kind of isn't a whole lot else to build. So we could consider quarries over here. Why don't we take a look, though, before we decide what we want to build. Let's see if we can boost anything. So if we go to our build structure tab here, you can see that to boost the Arcane Institute, we need a quarry and a forester, and I believe we already have that. If we go up here and take a look at our improvements, yes, we have a quarry and we have a forester, so we've already got one of each. Let's see if there's any other building upgrades that would help us out. So 2 farms to improve our stonemason, to boost it, that is. You'd have to have 5 population to boost our town hall level 2. The granary, you'd need 2 foresters. We could certainly do that. Experimentation chamber, you just need a single farm, so that's possible. or 2 quarries to get our blacksmith going. And then the academy, we do have to have a research post. That's a base provident improvement with the following benefits. So you would need to have this built to continue with the academy. But in order to boost that, we would need 2 quarries and 1 forester, which if we build the quarry, we would do. So maybe what we'll do then is, let me just see here. You know, the farm wouldn't be bad to at least get the experimentation chamber going. This is always kind of one of those decisions moments. Although, again, the mana obelisk would benefit from another quarry, and so would the blacksmith. So why don't we do another quarry? Let's see. We could go here or here. Maybe up here. So these are all just going to give us 5 production. So why don't we annex this little spot here? Although, you know what? This one's right next to us. Oh, yeah, here. This is excellent. If we grab this one, we'll get the pastures and we'll get the quarry. Or we could just max it out for maximum food benefit. But I kind of like maybe having this one a bit of both. So let's do the quarry there. Excellent. So then we're going to get the pastures benefit, and we're going to get the quarry benefit. The only thing is that the quarry is providing a little bit of negative happiness for the city, I guess. The city stability, I should say. All right, Thorn Dusk here. Let's see. So, we were working on the... Oh, now, did we switch what we were building? I guess we must have. Or maybe we had already finished it. I didn't pay close enough attention there. So we could go with the blacksmith is now boosted. The mana obelisk is now boosted. I'm thinking maybe the mana obelisk just to improve our mana income. We're going to be using it to continue to recruit undead units. And of course, they have an upkeep associated with them. So I think the mana obelisk would be a good choice here. So why don't we do that? And we're getting the boost out of it as well. So let's go mana obelisk. And then maybe after that, we can think about perhaps like the stonemason to improve our production further. Something like that. All right, so I think that's going to do it. So we'll end the turn there. Now, we are also going to need to eventually get a second city so that we can recruit an additional hero. Because if I'm not mistaken, you're kind of limited. Oh, here we go. What's this? Oh, this must be... Okay, this is one of my opponents. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Earthshaper, Care Enchanter of the Lizard Industrialists. Let us hope this realm is big enough for all of us. Greets you with contempt. So we have pretty negative relations. Let's see. Hostile. So just met. Alignment. Inherent dislike. Threatened. Yikes. All right, well, we're not going to worry about them right now. We don't know where the Throne City is. So, let's see. Lizard Industrialist. So they're poisonous and cold-blooded. Industrious, Runesmith, Mana Channelers. Well, we're not going to deal with them at the moment, but we're going to have to very soon. So let's see. Oh, here they are. Okay. Well, that's not good. We may need to send some forces over to Dim Tur. Thankfully, we are continuing to improve our relationship with them. You can see negotiations are continuing. We now have a pact of loyalty, which means they share their vision with us. The Free City allows building on claimed provinces, contributes 2 to the Rally of the Lieges. And reminder, this is where you can draft units into your empire or to help defend vassal cities using recruitment points. Will reinforce in combat against marauders and rulers the Free City is at war with. Next up is the Pact of Vassalage, so that's excellent. Can proceed with that. And you know what? The Pact of Vassalage is in 6, so why don't we boost our allegiance with some of our... And that's now going to happen in 3, so that's excellent. Let's just see if that impacts the trades at all. Okay, no, so they're still the same trades. Yeah, we're probably going to have to deal with this guy, unfortunately. Oh, goodness, he's got a tier 3 storm spirit, snow spirit already. Yikes, that's pretty scary. All right. We've got new Empire skill development points available. All-Seeing, Shadow Empire skill. We could do free cities with a Whisper Stone assigned, instantly provide you with vision range. Well, we now have that, but in the future with new cities that could be beneficial. Free cities or a vassal with a Whispering Stone assigned grant you plus 15 knowledge. Now that would be excellent given that we know that we already have one. So why don't we do that? Oh yeah, that's huge. We're also going to need to grab basic seafaring eventually, but we don't quite have enough at the moment. So let's see. So this is if we wanted to negotiate with him. Yeah. We're probably going to have to fight him eventually, but for now, I'm just going to continue working along here. So we completed our research on soul binders. This is a unit enchantment from the Tome of Souls. So base 90% of chance of inflicting soulbound on base attacks, increasing the soul gain when the target is killed. Plus 10% damage against units with soulbound. So that's great. We can choose a new research choice once we've done our movement here. So let's send Straelak underground. You know, I am kind of tempted to head over here and try to fight this guy since he's kind of on his own, as you can see. He's got a halberdier, arbalest. He's got a plague serpent that is pretty close to... I don't know if this thing will evolve. No, it doesn't look like it. But he's got some very powerful units over there. We do have to be very cautious. Alright, let's head underground. And then we will head over to the caged animal once we're able to. So let's go back up to the surface. We can send this guy down as well. Although he can't enter until the other stack moves off of where they currently are. Straelak's stack, that is. So let's grab the gold. Oh, it's not gold. It's a Visor of Farsight. Grants +1 defense, and the unit has vision range. So sure, let's do that. There we go. We can equip that. Very nice. And then our scouts, we see there's a haunted graveyard there, so probably some undead. Ooh, and Silverbridge does not like us, it looks like. You are at war with Silverbridge. Yeah, so they do not like us. So let's see, inspect the insolent Silverbridge. So yeah, very, very much not happy with us. We have clashing affinities, as you can see, because we're shadow and they're nature. They're sort of polar opposites. And then our alignment is not making them happy, and we are at war. So they really don't like us. So for our scout, why don't we kind of go down this way, and maybe we can head further down the road. This little guy, I think we're going to just try to head back to our throne city here. And then our storm spirit is going to just stay put right there. And we've already moved Straelak's group as much as we're going to. So that's going to take care of that. Let's go back to the surface. We are ready to make that bone golem once we are able to, or cast that spell, that is. So at least we have it kind of in reserve. We're going to leave it, though, for now. Let's see what else we could do. We could start working on soul binders. This really only affects battle mages and support units. So currently we just have a single warlock. So this one's probably not, you know, super amazing to get up and running just yet. But that said, it's only going to cost us 1 mana per unit. And right now we just have the 1. So it's really not that expensive to get with the upkeep, that is. So maybe we start working on it now. And then we can, when we're ready, cast it. So why don't we end our turn there? I think that's pretty much all we have. We're not going to cast that spell just yet. So let's end it there and see what comes next. Gosh, I'm a little nervous now that we've encountered our first opponent here. Okay, he does not like us, so he is definitely bringing units in. Oh, and he cleared out a structure, so we are going to have to deal with that, I think. Now, we're already underground, so we may as well continue with what we're doing, and then we'll come back up and head over. That might be a mistake, but why don't we at least deal with this since we're here? We'll jump back up to the surface just to bring our additional unit here underground. There we go. And then we can probably just get pulled in by being right there. Oh, we're going to trespass. Yeah, sure. Who cares? We will do that. All right, excellent. And now if we bring this... Yeah, we should be able to bring the fight to them. It's not going to matter if we all move, so let's do it. All right. So let's see what we're up against here. I believe we have some stone elementals, it looks like. Let's take a look. So we've got lesser stone spirit, gargoyle. All right, so we want to make sure that we are ready to handle the attack that they're going to bring it to us. So why don't we throw a restore onto our slightly damaged pikemen, or alternatively we could put it on our undead here, but I think we'll put it on our pikemen. Yeah, they're the Night Guard. They're pretty strong, but they're a little damaged, so let's buff them with some temporary health. Perfect. All right, so we can move them up here. We'll put our Bone Golem right next to them. Our Dark Warrior as well to benefit from the defensive tactics. And then we will kind of group up like that. And I think that's where we're going to sit, so we will end it there. Should be good. Now let's see what comes next here. Okay, so they just moved up. And of course, they have a defensive... Let's just take a look. They have shield wall. Unit has +3 defense. This unit ends its turn and goes into a defensive mode. Extends its zone of control to all adjacent hexes. And all adjacent friendly units gain +3 defense. So these guys are natural tanks. Very, very beefy. Now, the good news is we can probably curse them. Yes, we can. So why don't we throw a Sundering Curse out there? Excellent. So now they're weakened, which is going to help us out a lot. So they're going to be able to hit our 3 front units, and that's fine. I think we can tolerate that. So let's let them come to us. See what happens. We're going to take some damage. That's definitely going to happen. Okay, nothing too bad there. We'll speed it up just a bit. Good. Our temporary health doing its job. That's perfect. Okay, Bulwark was kind of dispelled there. Oh, nice. Okay, we can hit him with a really good magic blast here. Excellent. And our Bone Golem can follow up with some pretty heavy damage. Nice. Regeneration there. Then... Now, these gargoyles can take some punishment. Fortunately, yeah, we could get the kill with our Night Guard, which is probably what we'll do. But then we've got these other units to deal with, and we are going to suffer some serious damage, I think. I don't see a way out of this where we're not going to take some punishment. I think we want to use our magic bolts to try to inflict weakened on somebody else. So let's get the kill here with our pikemen. Plus, they get regeneration out of that, which is very good. Okay, so now 70% we can hit the gargoyles versus 50% we could hit the stone spirits here. So why don't we hit the gargoyles for the damage? Try and get... Yeah, and there's the weaken. That's exactly what we needed. Very, very good. Now, our bows can shoot as well. And pretty good damage to the gargoyles, so let's do that. All right, we kind of grazed a few of them, but... If we were to step out here, we would get the benefit of regeneration because the unit does have weaken on it. That said, might be better to stay back and play it more defensive, or park right here and sit in defense mode. Kind of liking that option better, so maybe we'll go right here. And then we'll park in defense mode. Hopefully that's not going to be... And I completely forgot about the Storm Spirit over here. They can come over to help as well. Hopefully I didn't just put them in a bad spot. I think they'll be okay. All right, we'll end it there. Ooh, I am a little nervous. Oh, now you know what? I forgot to use my bone golem, I think. Oh, no, never mind. The bone golem attack. That's right. Okay, great. These guys are tanking damage. They're taking some heavy punishment, but they're surviving. Nice, and the temporary healths absorb most of the damage, so that's very good. Now, we have a great opportunity here to get a nice flank attack, so we could certainly do that. These guys don't have weaken on them, however, so it might be nice to see if we can apply that somehow. Ooh, you know what? All right, let's help out with these gargoyles here. Okay, we softened him up a little. Not as much as I was hoping for, but not bad. All right, let's see if we can inflict weaken here. Very nice. Excellent. Okay, that went extremely well. And then we can do a flank here. Nice, and we get regeneration because Cull the Weak is now in effect. Okay, nice. And we can get the finish here, which is great. One more. Yes, there it is. Okay, great. So our pikemen did a good job there. We can step up and flank this guy for some pretty heavy damage. And we can follow that up with a magic blast from Straelak himself. The only danger, of course, is our Dark Warrior is in kind of rough shape up there. So maybe we throw a restore on him. I don't know. But let's see. We can at least step up to assist. Yeah, there. Big damage. Very, very nice. Let's see. We could also use Dark Ritual. Enemies in a 1 hex radius sustain damage. All corpses in a 1 hex radius turn into decaying zombie units. I think there's a corpse, but unfortunately our bone golem is standing on it. So we could hit them both for some pretty good damage, all things considered. Not terrible. The other option is we restore our beleaguered and beat up shock trooper up here. Alright, everybody else I think has acted pretty much except for our Dark Warrior. Yeah, these guys have all... And then our leader, Straelak himself. Now, Straelak can almost kill off these guys in one shot here. If we were to move up, let's see what happens if we do that. Now, that took our Dark Ritual off the table, but we've now got a very, very good chance to do heavy damage to these units. We could blast the let's see. Ooh, we really don't do much here with our Dark Warrior. We would do 8 damage or 11 damage. This would do 19. Don't know if that's going to be enough to get the kill. They've got 33 health, so we would be doing 19 followed by 11. Yeah, that's not going to cut it. That's only going to give us, what's that, 30? So that wouldn't be enough for the kill, which means that our Dark Warrior is going to be in a bad spot. Now, meanwhile, over here, 26 followed by 8. Let's see. 26. Oh, and we would be just shy of the kill. That's a shame. Because 26 plus 8 is, what, 34? Oh, man, that's so unfortunate. That said, we would inflict decaying. Let's just double check what decaying does. Okay, the unit would sustain blight damage each turn. That might actually then kill them. So let's try it. I think that's going to be our best hope. Okay, and then we can hit them with a little bit of damage here. Okay, great. So I think that's really all we can do. Let's see what happens next. Nice, okay. Oh, shoot. They're going after my... Ouch. Okay, well, there's the decay. It kicked in after they acted, so fair enough. Our Storm Spirit got beat up a little bit, but nothing we can't handle. So now let's just finish off getting the kill here. Okay, we do have Dark Ritual, but we can just blast and then get the finish, I think. There's no sense, really. Unfortunately, Restore only provides temporary hit points, so it doesn't really benefit me to apply it to any of my units at this point. They're slowed, but that's not really going to help get rid of anything. That's going to actually matter, that is. So why don't we blast them? Very good. And then we can follow that up with some magic bolts here. Perfect. All right, well, not too bad. We took a bit of damage with our Dark Warrior, but not the end of the world. So 3 XP there. Yeah, everybody gained our 3 XP. Let's see how our Storm Spirit's doing. So we're at silver medal, it looks like. We do need to try to get up to champion level, where we would evolve into a full-blown Storm Spirit, a tier 3 unit, which we could desperately need at this point since we are likely under attack from our competitor there. Oh, nice. Okay, and an Inferno Hound. We can certainly take that reward. Very, very good. Let's take a quick peek at him. I don't think this unit will evolve. It's a Fiend, Fighter, Magic Origin. So let's just see a Fighter. Where's that? There it is. Outright melee unit with no obvious specializations or counters. Does have low maintenance, though, for what that's worth. So you can see that we are now into the negative mana because this is a unit that requires mana upkeep since it is Magic Origin. So, I mean, hey, that's great. We at least have ourselves another unit to add into our fighting here. So why don't we go back up above ground? Whoops. So we have to go here, enter. There, that's better. And then we can head up this way. And then if we go back underground, we can bring Straelak's group back. Now, don't have enough movement to get there this turn, but next turn we can certainly get up above ground. And I think what we'll do is we will move over here. We're going to have to be very, very careful. These units could conceivably start moving their way over to us. I have a suspicion that the city is going to come under attack, so we may want to even send our units over to try to help. But for now, I guess we'll just leave them where they are. Our scout here can keep doing some work. Okay, we've met another... Let's see... Greets you with a sage. So we've met Seer... Ethica Starseer of the Free City of Sorcerer's Solace. They don't like us initially a little bit. I'm guessing that's because they might not be our... Let's take a look. Yeah, so they don't align with our alignment. But we will leave them be for now. It's not really anything we can deal with. But at least we know they're there. There's that haunted graveyard. So, Arcane Research, we can certainly choose what to do next. Soul Collection. This is a skill level 1, 30 gold upkeep. We would gain additional soul income, which wouldn't be the worst thing ever. Soul Overflow. Friendly units in a 1-hex radius gain +1 strengthened, maximum 20 hit points until the end of battle, and they have their negative status effects removed. You know, that wouldn't be so bad if a unit's really getting beat up, or you have a unit that you know you want to throw into the mix as a tank. Maybe we'll go Soul Collection, though. One thing that we can do is we can spend mana to lock an item so that maybe we don't want to pick it this time, but for the next time we could. That's one thing that's good to know. I think we'll do Soul Collection. Let's see. Soul Binders is ready to go. So we might as well do that. Okay, excellent. So our battle mage units are now buffed, and our support units if we were to have any. Let's see, what else can we do? We have that... Create Bone Golem ready to go, but we're not going to cast that at this point. We don't have any skeletons. On that note, might be worth recruiting a couple and then using that spell. Because, again, we're probably going to need some units here in the near future as we get into this fight. I'm assuming, anyway. Alright, well, that's going to do it for our turn. We're just working on the Mana Obelisk, which will help us out with our mana situation. And we're going to end it there. Uh-oh. I don't like this. Okay, so they're just clearing structures around the city. Oh boy. Yeah, he's got a lot of units here. We're going to have to move over. Okay, this looks like it's a quest. Baroness Umzish Thorncrown solemnly greets you. Cordially invites you to join the ceremonial hunt of the Pyreborn Goretusk Piglet. Will you send a hunting party to Dimturn join their hunt for the elusive piglets? We would get relations and a mysterious bonus, mystery bonus. I am honored to join you. I will send several hunters. You decline this quest. Draft and Forndas block for 6 turns. Okay, so I will have no port, so that would give us some positive, or some good alignment, which we don't want. I think what I'll do is I will say I'm honored to join you. Okay, so we'd have to head over there and deal with that. Well, that's kind of unfortunate. I was hoping it would be located closer to the city. Thankfully, we've got 25 turns to do it, so we really don't have to rush. So that's excellent. So in the meantime here, why don't we group up our units like this, and then we can grab Straelak and his group. We are going to trespass to get up above ground. And we are going to head over this way, and I think we're probably going to have to fight this guy because he's really threatening us with his location. And you know what? Maybe we can ambush him and send his leader to the void for a couple of turns. We've got a pretty decent army here. We've got... we don't have any tier 3 units, of course, but we do have a fairly powerful stack here in our main group. And we've got some ancillary troops as well, including our Storm Spirit that we're trying to evolve. We've also now got ourselves another skeleton, which we can send out. You know what? Let's build another one. We don't have enough souls. Oh, shoot. But yeah, we need a few more souls before we can do that. Let's keep scouting over here and see if there's anything else we find. What is this? Battlefield Remnants. Moving your army onto will grant you draft and possibly an item which your heroes can use. Well, that's great. We can send our scout over there. Nice. Okay, Mana Obelisk has been completed. Let's see what else we can build. So the Blacksmith we could do to get more draft. I don't really know if we need more draft at this point. That would help with unit recruitment, I suppose. Probably the Stonemason would be the thing I would really need at this stage. Just because of the extra production, I think that's going to really help us out. Yeah, again, I am tempted because the Blacksmith is boosted, but really draft is not limiting our ability to produce these units at this stage. I suppose for the Bone Golem it would speed things up, because you can see it's costing 120 draft. Well, you know what, maybe, again, I've talked myself in a bit of a circle. Maybe the Blacksmith would be a decent choice. It's going to take us 4 turns, however, so... you know what? It's boosted. What the heck? Let's do it. Hopefully I don't regret that choice, but... we've still got our spell ready to cast. We're going to ignore that. Let's see if there's anything else. Yeah, there's nothing else strategic at the moment we'd want to use. So I think we're going to end the turn there. Let's see what comes up next. Hang on. Before we do that, though, we could grab... Oh, interesting. Unlocks the ability for units to excavate earthen terrain in the underground. So this is like tunneling, I guess. Seafaring we could grab at this point. Probably not a bad idea to do it, really. What's our next one here? Magic Origin unit upkeep is reduced. Oh, that would be helpful because we've actually got a fair number of Magic Origin units. So that would improve our mana economy a little bit. But basic seafaring is going to be important. Let's hold off for now. We can always purchase it later. We'll end it there. Okay, well, I see that our opponent has moved a stack over to us, and it's led by a Summer Fairy, which is a tier 3 support unit. Champion rank, very powerful. Got a Plague Serpent, Anvil Guard, and a Pioneer. Now, we haven't declared war on them at this point, but what we could do is move over with both our armies and attack them. It's a bit of a risk because obviously this is a very powerful group, and I'm A little bit scared to invoke the wrath of my opponent here because he's got some very powerful units, including some tier 3 units. You can see shield unit of Bastion. That's going to be kind of scary. So he's clearly a bit more powerful than I am at this stage. But I'm thinking it might be... Oh, so he insulted me. So yeah, it's going to break down to war eventually, no matter what we do here. Okay, nice. So diplomatic state with Dim Tur is now vassalage. Free City shares 30% of its income. That's fantastic. Look at that. Boosting our mana and our gold income here. Shares all of its magic materials. Contributes 2 to the Rally of the Lieges. Trading costs are at the default levels. And then we'll have bonded vassalage up next. That is excellent. You know what? I'm happy to keep boosting this just to speed things up. So let's do it again there. 4 turns to 2 turns. That's great. If we trade now, it would cost 4 gold for some draft, 10 turn duration. We can't do the mana one. That would be 25 for 10. Or I guess we could. It's just it's expensive. I don't want to do that, quite frankly. All right, well, why don't we attack this guy? I know we're going to regret it, but... Oh, nice. We have haste berries now. That's excellent. So let's take a look. So here you can see we have haste berries. Founding, migrating, and absorbing cities takes 2 less turns, and that's because of our vassal here. Now, I'm wondering, I don't think this having the vassal counts as another city. Let's just check. Yeah, so the hero limit is still 1 of 1. Once we're able to, it'd be great to recruit another hero. Got a prison and a crypt as well, which we'll have to check out later. So negotiation successful. It will be... Oh, so he's upset because we improved our relationship with that city. Presumably he either wanted to or was trying to attack it or something like that. You gain a grievance against Care Enchanter. Alright, well, you know what? Let's... Again, we're probably poking the bear here. And this may lead to our downfall, but I think we should go for it here. Why not? Again, famous last words, but why not? Let's do it. I get the feeling I'm really going to regret this choice, however. But we shall see. We don't have enough souls here, but hopefully if we win this battle and get some souls, we can build our additional skeleton and then turn that into another bone golem. So, okay, let's do it. Oh, I'm going to regret this. War justification balance, so 10. Minor. Relations with non-allied rulers are going to go down because we're declaring war. And we're going to get some negative alignment. Enemy forces are stronger. Uh-oh. Let's see. Does it show his... kind of like how far along he is, I guess. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to definitely regret this. You know what? What the heck? Let's do it. Again, I know I'm going to regret this, but let's do it. Alright, we'll do it manually. Oh, man, I am super scared here. I'm very nervous. Like I said, I fully expect that I may end up losing this. I don't want to sound negative, but I'm fully expecting that I may end up losing this particular series just because I really haven't played Age of Wonders 4 much at all. And going in very blind and inexperienced. But I figure that there's no better way to learn than to just kind of throw yourself into the deep end and hope for the best. So, all right. Now, these units are extremely tanky. As you can see, this Anvil Guard is a beast with 9 defense. That's a ton of physical protection. We're going to probably have to try to exploit the resistance there. But you can see, even with resistances, protection from a lot of things as well. Plague Serpent, Pioneer, and... Summer Fairy. So what is this Pioneer? Let's see. Oh, this is a... Oh, it's like a scout, I guess? Let's see. Is that a scout unit? Cavalry. Cave Walk. So this is a... Yeah, okay. This is their scout. Okay, fair enough. So we're not too worried about that. I think we might want to use some spells in this battle just because... I don't want to lose anybody if I can avoid it. We're going to throw a restore onto our unit that's beat up. I think that's probably just going to be prudent here. There we go. We can cast spells next turn, so maybe next turn we'll start thinking about it. Why don't we step out here? Oh, man, I am really regretting my decision, actually, at this point. I am not looking forward to this. This is going to be a rough battle, I think. Okay, defensive tactics coming into play. We're going to want to use our curse, that's for sure. This group we can move over here. We want to fight them with our units kind of in a group so we can make use of some of their benefits. Get that Dark Warrior over as well. Alright, we're going to end it there. Of course, I'm grouping up as well, so hopefully we don't get hit with anything too nasty. Okay, that shield wall is going to be devastating. Alright, well, I think they're in range now to throw a curse at them. Yes, they are. Oh, look at that. Sundering Curse is excellent. That's some pretty big damage and a weaken there. Sundered their defense, so we should be able to hopefully take advantage of that. Alright, now they can swoop in and hit us in a couple of different spots, so why don't we just kind of boost, or I should say just kind of group ourselves up so that if they come in and attack us, they're just going to get some retaliation from our units. Now, our pikemen are a little bit worse for wear, unfortunately, and I don't have my restore available. Let's see. Removes all negative status effects. Grants a random positive status effect for each negative one removed. We may want to use that eventually, but for now, I think we're fine. We could throw a Dark Ritual, but it's only once per battle, and I want to wait until they're grouped up and I can actually hit them with it. So we're not going to do that right now. Not with Straelak, that is. Let's see. We can put our units like this. And why don't we kind of go here? And then we can turn towards them. Yeah, that's fine. Actually, no, we'll turn that way. These guys here can turn up towards the battle as well. So can our skeletons. Not that it matters if they're in defense mode, but... Alright. Ooh, I'm a little nervous. Let's see what we've got here for spells. So, we could throw on... Target one enemy unit, one other enemy unit within 2 hexes... Sustain frost damage and become slowed. You know, that's not the worst thing ever. That would reduce their movement a little bit. What else could we do? Soul Fire, frost damage, fire damage, and adjacent units are dealt some of the damage as well. That's not terrible either, and it would hit all of them. Alright, let's soften them up just a touch here. Yeah, there. Okay. So now they're going to come at us here. We're going to take some punishment. Okay, going after my pikemen. Ooh, they taunted him. Interesting. Uh-oh. Okay, we resisted that, thank goodness. Ooh. Fire damage on our undead. That's not ideal. Alright, so... Now it's time for a little bit of a counterattack here. Now they're taunted, so they're just going to do whatever they want. They're doing pretty good damage, all things considered. Again, that weaken is very helpful. Okay, now our archers, remember, we don't want them to shoot our own units. So why don't we move over to the foliage here? There, now we've got a much better... Now, we're not going to do a ton of damage, but at least we can hit them here for some... We can weaken them further. This weaken is really going to pay dividends here for me, I think. Oh, nice. Look at that. We can blast them now with this. Even though there's no corpses, we could still hit them for some good damage. Alternatively, what might be really, really good... Let's just cancel that. If we kill this unit off and then use that ability, we would actually then create... a zombie, I think it is, that we can use. Our Warlock can blast. I think it'd probably be better, though, to weaken other units rather than just focusing exclusively here. As much as I would like to get the kill there, I think it'd be better to distribute out some of the damage. Nice. Okay, that unit's soulbound. Weakened. That's fantastic. We can flank them here for some good damage. Why don't we do that? They're undead. Nice. Regeneration on them as well. That's great. Good, good. Really good damage there. And then... boy, it's a shame we don't have more ranged units. That would really help us out. I think that's something I maybe need to prioritize, actually, in my city. You know what? We could jump around behind here and flank these guys for some big damage. Although they're... Oh, never mind. They're in defense mode. It's not going to matter. We are going to cancel it, but... You know what? Let's do it, though. We'll jump around over here. Hit him with some big damage. Did cancel defense mode for them, which is good. And our Night Guard have already acted. Oh, look at this. Our Dark Warrior can charge right in and get the kill. Yeah, let's do it. Perfect. And there's some more regeneration for them. That's great. Okay, now, if we were to use our Dark Ritual... Look at that. We would get ourselves a unit back here. So why don't we do that? See this in action. Oh, very cool. Nice. There's a decaying zombie. Let's take a look at this. Oh, so it's a zombie lizard unit. Decaying, so it sustains 10 blight damage each turn and cannot regain hit points. So it retains some of its abilities from being what it was before, it looks like. So Earthkin, Poisonous. Yeah, so okay, that's very, very cool. And look at that. Now we can just attack. We can get the kill right here. Let's do it. Speed that up. Nice. There's the kill. Okay, great. So maybe I was a little overly panicked about this battle, but I was just a bit nervous because it was my first real battle going up against the enemy... like an enemy player rather than an enemy AI, you know, just little marauder stack or something. Okay, so you know what? Let's head in behind here with our Inferno Hound and flank the Scout. Perfect. And then we can charge in with our Dark Warrior here for some very heavy damage. Excellent. Follow that up with maybe the kill here, I think. Perfect. Now all that's left is the Summer Fairy. So we can... Let's see, who still has movement left? I think really it's going to be just... Yeah, it's just our Bone Golem here, so let's do some work. Excellent. All right, we will end our turn there. Let's see what they do. Running away. Oh, and they're going to hit us with some magic. And they blasted our skeletons with some fire damage, but thankfully not a huge problem for us. Not that this is going to matter, but let's throw a restore onto our pikemen. Again, it's temporary health, so it doesn't really matter. And then we can do some range damage here. Let's get our pursuers up there. Blast them with our bow. How about our warlocks? Ooh, you know what? We have enough to do another Sundering Curse. Sure, why not? That is probably one of my favorite abilities, that Sundering Curse. It is so, so powerful. And then let's get out there and get our kill. Excellent. All right, fantastic. So we got some souls. The problem is we've poked the bear, so that's not ideal. But unfortunately, we didn't gain a ton of experience there, just 2 XP per unit. But inching our way closer. Okay, here we go. Oh, this is a little scary. So we're now at war with him, so we'll see how that goes. Is that part of his territory? Yes, it is. Okay, so we know he's got a city over here. And clearly he's got units over here as well, including... where was he? We actually saw the leader himself. Let's see if we can find him again. I don't think he's in any of those stacks, no. But we're going to have to now deal with the consequences of our actions. Which is not amazing for us here. Okay, no one can get over to Straelak. So what I'll do with this group is I will head over, hang out at the city just to reinforce it a little bit. Now, our scout can continue scouting around. We'll grab this. Oh, and it's guarded. Of course it is. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. Oh, look at that. A hidden fountain. Let's see what that is. This is a bronze level ancient wonder. City stability per fishery, farm, and forester. Friendliness and domain are healed for 30 hit points at the end of each strategic turn. Add Spring Fairy, Summer Fairy, Autumn Fairy, and Winter Fairy to the Rally of the Lieges. Structure can only be entered and fought by one army, so that we already knew. So there's another bronze ancient wonder. Let's jump underground, see if there's anything we can see. Ooh, an Astral Rift. Oh, look at these things. Okay, wow, a Lost Wizard. This is a Tier 5 unit. Holy cow. I didn't realize it went beyond Tier 4. In Age of Wonders 3, Tier 4 was the highest it could go, but now I guess there's Tier 5. Well, that is terrifying. Holy cow, that's a lot of health. Mythic unit. A powerful unit doesn't conform to a particular fighting style. We've seen a few of those so far. Cosmic Bolts. Yikes. And that's pretty scary. Okay, well, we definitely don't want to mess with that at this stage. Let's go back to the surface here. Our scout is pretty much out of movement, but we can at least go a little bit closer over there. Looks like Soul Collection has been completed. We can now select a new research choice. Oh, nice. Okay, we get our next Tome of Magic. Let's see the Tome Library. So, our options are Evocation and Warding, it looks like, up here. We've got Horde and Pyromancy, Enchantment and Rock, Roots, Beasts, Evolution, Zeal, Faith, Cryomancy. That's the other one that's, I believe, shadow-focused. And then... let's see. Oh, Tome of Necromancy. Okay, this is the one I definitely want. You can see it's Tier 2. We have one of two tomes unlocked. So, at this point, maybe Cryomancy wouldn't be a bad choice for us. It gives us the Evoker unit. It would give us the Summon Lesser Storm Spirit. Lightning Torrent. Again, oh, actually, this is Evocation. Let's take a look at Cryomancy, excuse me. Lesser Snow Spirit. A White Witch. Another Battle Mage type unit. Frost Blades, Blizzard. Frost Arrows. Now, what I like about this one is that it also is a shadow-focused tome, which would help us out. We would get additional shadow affinity from it. And we'd get the School of Cryomancy, which is a special province improvement. More knowledge, more mana. Counts as a research post. Must be built on an acquired province. You'd also get Frost Weapons. This is a novice hero skill that you can apply. Some of our other options here. I mean, we don't really want to take something that we don't have the affinity for, so probably these are out of the mix. Now, we do have a little bit of Materium income, so these aren't, awful choices necessarily. And no matter what we pick, as long as we pick another tome, we are going to have access to Necromancy once we get another tome after that, because we just have to have two. So, I don't know. Let's see. Horde and Pyromancy, these are Chaos Affinity, so we don't have any of that. Let's go back down. So, okay. Let's just take a quick look at these and see if anything's really appealing. We could summon a Copper Golem. Tome of Rock. We could get... oh, there it is. The Lesser Stone Spirit. Or a Gargoyle. Enchantment, we have that copper golem. The Tome of Rock certainly isn't the worst thing ever. That's definitely kind of appealing. You'd get a central quarry as your special province improvement to increase production. But you know what? I think just for the purposes of sticking with our shadow affinity, let's go cryomancy. And again, maybe I'll regret that, but I think if we focus on cryomancy, that's going to give us additional shadow affinity income. That's going to help us out. So, and then we'll go for necromancy after that. So let's select it.
When all the world has turned to ice, I see a pure frostling paradise. Frost their limbs and make their bones brittle, entombed in icy blood. Summon the blizzard to freeze flesh and inspire fear that harkens back to a time when mortals huddled in caves, fearing the cold would claim them.
So that was a quote from Artica the Cold, Queen of the Frostlings. All right, so we've got our options here. Why don't we go for the White Witch? Actually, hang on. Let's just see. Ice Coffin. This is a damage spell. Frost Blades. That's a unit enchantment. You do more frost damage, but you reduce your physical damage. So that's very similar to what the Frostling units had in Age of Wonders 3, so I am kind of familiar with that. It would impact a lot of units in my army. Plus 20% damage against frozen or slowed units, so it's very synergistic. Let's see. Grants access to a battle mage unit that inflicts frozen. Yeah, let's go with the White Witch here. The only problem is these units now don't have the this White Witch won't inflict weakened like our other ones will. So again, if we're going to use this, we would have to kind of try to synergize it all together. So that is something to remember. Let's see if we close this for a second. Well, we'll have to think about that. So, again, I'm still kind of learning the system with the tomes, so maybe that wasn't the best synergistic choice. But in any case, we can, we'll think about what research choice to take next. But let's focus on our city for a second here. So we can recruit another unit. Let's grab a skeleton, and then we can add that to our other skeleton and cast our Bone Golem spell. Let's see. Yeah, we're working on the blacksmith still. Spell ready to cast. Evil presence in the lands. Yeah, now we know about the Astral Rift. This is a gold level infestation spawner. Very scary. As we've already gotten to see how strong that was. We'll go back over to Horndusk here. So Straelak's pretty much done all his movement. Nothing else we can do with the stack there. We do have that spell ready to cast. Create Bone Golem. Let's do Soul Collection, though, and just get that one up and running. Perfect. Okay, so our soul income should be augmented now. You can see that with Soul Collection, we're just going to get souls every turn, which is great. And you know what? Let's just take a look quickly at our Empire development. So we now have 8 per turn. I believe 2 extra from choosing that additional tome there, the Cryomancy. And then next time we can grab Shadow Binding once we have enough Imperium. We're very close to having it, so... Alright, well, I think this is a great spot maybe to leave the episode. We do still have a research choice to pick. Because we finished all the other... I believe the selections from the previous tome as much as we could. So now we have to decide from our new tome what we're going to choose. Let's show the tome library. We go back to the Tome of Souls. We didn't choose Soul Overflow. That's the only thing. But we have the other 4 here. So now we just have to decide what we want to pick from this. So let me know what you guys think. You know, was Cryomancy a terrible choice? Was it a decent choice? From the Cryomancy options, what do you think I should go for here? You know, should I focus on units? Should I focus on maybe some of the combat spells? Let me know what you guys think. So we'll leave it there. In next episode, we will decide on a research choice. So we're going to just zoom out. So, again, maybe foolish of me to declare war, but we at least were able to eliminate some of my opponent's units there in a bit of a surprise attack. So I think we're going to leave it here, and as I said, we're going to just save it. So let's save this one. We will call this first series, episode 3. And as always, guys, thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one.